So I'm going to walk you through what I would do if I had to do a persuasive writing essay or a paragraph. I'm just going to do a paragraph because an essay would just be too long. But so here are our two prompts. Does a person's character determine that person's success in life? And is it more important to avoid hurting people's feelings or to tell the truth? So I'm literally just going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, something, something, something died. Okay. So let's do the first one. Does a person's character determine that person's success in life? So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to just highlight the words that I think are the most important. We call these key terms, right? Because they are the most important terms or phrases. It's basically going to determine what I can talk about. So here I see person's character. I think determine is a pretty strong verb as well, and a person's success in life. I'll give that a nice purple. Okay, so does a person's character determine that person's success in life? So I'm trying to think, okay, what does it mean when it says person's character? So when I say person's character, I'm thinking of maybe personality traits. Okay, like, are they courageous? Are they lazy? And then maybe we'll look at the purple one here. So you say person's success in life. So a person's success in life, for me, two definitions of success. You could have social success, which would be like having lots of money. And then you could have maybe a personal success, which might be fulfilling a personal goal. Maybe you can run 10Ks when you couldn't before, but that wouldn't be social success because it's not recognized by everybody. Okay, so there's two definitions of success here. That's interesting. And when I think of the word determine, it's a very strong word. It basically means that it causes one thing. So if you have a good character, you're always going to have success. For me, that's a little bit strong because sometimes people have really crappy characters. They're really bad people and they still end up being pretty successful. So now I need to do my contention. So this is my contention. I'm going to say something like this. One sentence, maybe having a strong personal character mostly causes success, but other factors can contribute. Okay, so that is my contention. Now I'm going to think, what am I going to do in one of my paragraphs? So the easiest way to do this is we'll say arguments here. Put an S. And we're just going to go A, B, and C. So how am I going to split up my contention into 3 paragraphs? So I might say something like this. Okay, so having a strong personal character, you might say a strong personal character involves determination. And that leads to success or something like that. Because I think determination is probably one of the more important personal characters that lead to success. And then you might say, maybe your personal character affects behavior. Because I don't want to say that just being a good person causes success. What I do want to say is that being a good person actually affects the way that you behave, and it is your behavior that actually leads to success. And I'm going to say that leads to success, so that's my B. And then for my C, why don't I say, okay, so we need to put in now exception, because I said it mostly causes success. It doesn't always cause success. So you might say it's personal character does does not guarantee success. Other factors such as chance contribute. Okay, so this is interesting. I have two paragraphs here that are saying that personal character does lead to success. Here I'm saying both personal and social success. And my third paragraph is a bit of an exception, which I love to do. I love to have an exception paragraph just to balance things out. Okay, so I feel like doing B. So let's take my B paragraph here. And I'm going to show you how to write a paragraph, a persuasive paragraph, if I take this idea here. Okay, so structure-wise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a topic sentence, which explains what the paragraph is about. Then I'm going to follow it up with an idea or a claim that backs up the topic sentence. After the idea and the claim, I'm going to give some evidence or maybe explanation, and then I'm going to repeat this again and again. So this is the bulk of my paragraph, and then I'm going to have a closing sentence down the end, which actually repeats a similar idea to the topic sentence. So this is my structure. I'm going to move this down. Let's see how we go. Personal character affects behavior and leads to success. Okay, how about this? It is clear that what leads to success is not just having virtuous characteristics, but that these affect how a person behaves in life. Okay, so that's my topic sentence. Super important because everything I'm going to write after this is going to lead up to this topic sentence. So it's important to have a very clear one. Now I need to back this up because this is a very, very broad idea. So I'm thinking, what are some smaller ideas I could have that would support this topic sentence? You might say, it is clear that what leads to success is not just having virtuous characteristics, but that these affect how a person behaves in life. I might say something like this. Behavior comes from the personal traits of the one who behaves. All right, that sounds kind of confusing, but let's say, for example, now I'm going to give a little example or a demonstration of this. For example, if one was lazy, they would act in ways that indicate that laziness. Like when one neglects responsibilities during the day for temporary pleasures. Okay, so here's a practical example. One has responsibilities during the day, but they're not going to do them because they're lazy and they just want what's temporary, so they might lay in bed all day or something like that. Okay, so let's have another idea. So that's my idea. This is my example. Let's give another idea. So you might say something like this. Alternatively, so I want to say something different. How about we say, alternatively, one can demonstrate qualities that contribute positively to everyday life. Consider a businessman who is hard working but also conscientious. Now, this is my example. He would be contributing socially to those around him, but also building his personal profile in the workplace, by his, we could say, I'm trying to think of another word for responsible, by his diligent behavior that stems from his personal character. Okay. So that sounds all right. So I looked at someone who was lazy, then I looked at someone who was not lazy but also had a social sense about him. And let's have a third idea here. So maybe we'll say something like, however, it is argued that what leads to success is not the mere presence of good characteristics, but the application and demonstration of those traits in everyday behaviors. If, for example, now this is my example, one was diligent but did not demonstrate her diligence in everyday life, this would not lead to success. Now I'm going to have, maybe we'll have another idea. Success is built from behavior. To obtain a promotion at work would require behaviors that, missing S, that the office sees as favorable, such as working overtime. Okay, so something like that. I'll just bring this up a little bit. Such as working overtime. And let's have a closing sentence. This is a pretty decent paragraph here. I love to start my closing sentences with therefore, so we'll just chuck that in there. Good idea. Just steal that from me. And then I'm going to look at my topic sentence, and I'm going to go, what was the idea here? Can I bring that down to the closing sentence? So it is clear that what leads to success is not just having virtuous characteristics, but that these affect how a person behaves in life. So let's just try and copy that idea. Therefore, success is built from practical behaviors that can only be shown if they are reflected in personal traits. There we go. Okay. So this was I'll just show you one more time. This was our structure here. Now let's just color code this. So we'll leave the topic sentence here. All right, let's just give the ideas a black color. So these are our black colors. And then the evidence, we're going to give it a nice orange. Give that orange. And then the closing sentence, let's give that a purple. Okay. No, topic sentence is red, so let's give it a blue. There you go. Okay, so you got your topic. Then we're going to back it up with some ideas, but each idea needs a piece of evidence to support it. And then a nice closing sentence at the end. So let's see if we can replicate this structure in the paragraph. I will just, yep. Oh, what have I done? Okay. It is clear that what leads to success is not just having virtuous characteristics, but that these affect how a person behaves in life. So we're going to, that's our topic sentence. Let's give that a red. Behavior comes from the personal traits of the one who behaves. Okay. That seems like a pretty Complicated idea. So that's a black color. We'll leave that. What did I give my ideas? Evidence. Okay, it was orange. And so I say, for example, if one was lazy, they would act in ways that indicate laziness, like when one neglects responsibilities during the day for temporary pleasures. Okay, that's fine. So that's my backup for the previous idea. Let's give that a nice orange. Alternatively, one can demonstrate qualities that contribute positively to everyday life. Now that's an idea. We'll keep that as black. Consider a businessman who is hardworking but also conscientious. Okay. And then I go on to say he would be. So I'm actually continuing the example here. So we'll keep going. Contributing socially to those around him, but also building his personal profile in the workplace by his diligent behavior that stems from his personal character. Okay, that sounds like a example. I'll give that an orange. However, it is argued that what leads to success is not the mere presence of good characteristics, but the application and demonstration of those traits in everyday behaviors. Okay, so that's an idea. We'll give that a black. If, for example, one was diligent, but did not demonstrate her diligence in everyday life, this would not lead to success. Okay, interesting. That doesn't seem like an example, but I guess it is. I think this would be more of an example. So we'll read this. Success is built from behavior. To obtain a promotion at work would require behaviors that the office sees as favorable, such as working overtime. Now that one is very clearly an example, so I'll give that an orange. And then we'll have a look at my closing sentence. Therefore, success is built from practical behaviors that can only be shown if they are reflected in personal traits. Okay, and that is our purple closing sentence. So I will just bring this down. So this is essentially what it looks like, okay? How I would go about writing a persuasive piece on a prompt like this. I'll go through the stages again. Number one, define those key terms. What are we talking about when we mean personal character? What do we mean when we say determine? Then I'm going to come up with a contention, and my contention is mostly agreeing with it, but it has a bit of an exception in it as well. And then below, I have my three arguments, A, B, and C for each of my paragraphs. And then the actual paragraph is up here that follows the structure indicated below. And I literally just repeat this again for A as well as, as C. So I'll do the same for A and C, and then introduction and conclusion as well. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.